Okay, little bow review today. At the range today. It's late at night, which is awesome because nobody's here. So I got the whole place to myself, which is awesome. Anyway, I have talked about the Korean Asiatic style bows. There's many different types. I tend to like Korean bows because they have a lot of energy and they're very small. Their handle is made in a certain way that it can take a lot of weight, draw weight, but be very short. So it's really a genius design. And these bows go back, man, I don't even know. A few thousand years at least. There's a shooting range in South Korea where they do traditional Korean archery, which is 145 yards. And the reason is the peninsula was at such risk geographically from the Manchu people, Mongolians, occasionally some Japanese pirates. So they had fortified towers, and their whole way of defending their cities, how they were at the time, because they were kind of locked in geographically, was long-range shooting. If they had an enemy coming, they had to get arrows downrange and stop the threat before it got too close. Because people that were invading them often had, well, the Mongols had gunpowder at the time, and I mean, if they got too close, they're going to be throwing clay bombs. It's a big mess. So the Koreans have a whole different style of traditional archery. During their tournaments, you usually shoot, I think it's 3 sets of 5 at 145 meters. So it's long shooting. But anyway, I'll get to that a little bit. What's really exciting is I have on loan to me Bear, which is an American company named after the great Fred Bear. Just came out with a new Montana. Now, I had a Montana 22 years ago, and like an idiot, I sold it to my boss. I think like the next day he got a Bear with it or something. Great bow. Maple core and ashwood, I think, and then fiberglass reinforcement. But they just came out with a bamboo one, which is sweet in my opinion. Now that's just my opinion. Really, it's the shooter, not the wood. You can be just devastating with a bow that's 35 pounds if you know what you're doing. You can kind of compare that to ballistics. You know, it's where you hit, not how hard you hit. But it does have a little something to do with it, the power of the bow. And I think bamboo is just snappier wood. It's just good, resilient, very strong, stable wood. No twisting. I mean, this thing is stout. It's very, very strong. I'll come over here and look at it. It's got little horn reinforcement nocks. Got a beautiful riser there. Of course, it's got the Bear logo. That's been there forever. Put them on all their bows. But bamboo all around again. Horn knock. Now this bow is completely different than what I tend to like. I love longbows, 3-finger style shooting. I just prefer the others because they're so short, they're so light. This Korean bow, I think, weighs somewhere in the ballpark of 310 grams. You're literally holding nothing. It does not weigh at all. This bow, however, has a little weight to it. So stringing methods, that's another different thing. This is what's called a reflex deflex bow. It's not a recurve. The ends, or they call them cias because they're actually separate pieces of wood that make that C shape, has a slight flex away. So that aids in power because the bow, when it's strong, it wants to go back to here. Just like with the Korean bow, this bow wants to go back to that shape. That's its home. That's what it's used to. That's what it's made. That's where it's made, and you're forcing it. When you string it, it's already pulled against what it wants to go back to. So, with a reflex deflex bow, unlike the English longbow, those guys were working with what they had. They had yew wood, and it was just a one-piece stave. Yew wood is a natural composite. It's got a soft belly and a hard backing, so it's kind of like a composite bow, but it's naturally made from a certain cut at a certain part of the yew tree. But the stringing methods are very different. So I don't know if I did this on my other video or not, but these Asiatic bows are finicky and they are delicate. So you really have to respect the bow and its properties and know its limitations. And it's got the string bridge. You want to hold that in the center. And when you're stringing, it's what's called the step through method. So you're going to pull that string and you want to make sure you keep it straight. You don't want to torque this bow or bend it. So you lock it around your ankle, step in, and right behind, there's that little sweet spot in your knee behind the back of your thigh. You're going to flex it, the bottom limb, and then pull that upper limb up and string it. Now, once you string it, check the tiller. Looks good. This might, yeah. Straight. Good. Stiff. This bow is not twisting. Great. Oh, I love the Koreans. Man, they've got really good bows. Warm that thing up a little bit. So stringing a long bow, there's different methods. Some I think are kind of dangerous, can be hard on the bow. The foot and floor method, pushing with your knee. So modern day, it's your safe bet just to get a stringer. You're gonna save yourself a lot of headache and possibly a lot of money if you break the bow, or hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself stringing a bow. So with these stringers, you got the long one, you put the lower end in the knock, you completely cover it. You're gonna bring other one, which is shorter, and this is the kind of the scary part. It's only on there a little bit, just enough, but once that pressure gets on it, it's fine. But you're gonna have the string already on it, and you're gonna step. I usually do shoulder width apart, get an even step on the bow, okay, where it's drawing up. And again, I'm gonna warm this up a little bit. Let this wood get used to being pulled. I don't know when this thing was strung last. Okay, there we go. You're gonna take the string and slide it right up into that knock. And again, just like the Korean bow, you wanna check. Every bow, doesn't matter where it's from. A Mughal bow, Tartar bow, English longbow, These tend to have a brace height a little bit longer than the Korean bow. You can easily see there, handle to handle. So I think this Korean bow's the brace height is from the handle to the string. I think this one is at 7, and I think this is 8.5 on the Montana. So this is like Christmas in August. This is great. This is the bow I had for years, and then again, like I said, like an idiot, I sold it. I should have never done that, but it's all come full circle, and I really hope to acquire one of these. So this bow is longer. It's 64 inches. This one is 50. So you can see these little Korean bows have the same power because of the recurved C-shaped design. And to explain why that power is, like I said before, that bow was shaped in a C. That's where it wants to be. That is the shape it's made. It's already feeling it. It's already like, I want to go back to here. So when you draw this bow, now it really wants to go back. But you're stopping it with these string bridges, sends all the energy to the center serving, and that's how you get all the power from your arrow. But the longbow does not have, it has more of a, not a lob, but you have to shoot it differently. You have to understand how it shoots. So it's of course it's got a shelf too. It's got a shooting shelf, so I'm shooting on the other side of the bow. Most Western people, anything Western Europe or America, American Indians, they're going to understand this 3-finger style. But so you're with that style here. Again, I'll come closer here. The shelf here with arrows. You have what they have the male and female, the hen and cock feather. The hen feathers are the same color. The cock feather is the one that tells you which one goes on the outside. So the cock feather goes on the outside, hen feather's going inside. You lay it there, you knock it up against your knock point, 1 finger above, 3, or two below. 1 finger above, 2 below, 3 total. There are people that shoot just 3 below. You'll see it in some movies. Some Olympic archers shoot 3 under, they call it. I do split finger. And then also my favorite is just the thumb shooting, the Korean style, and Japanese and Manchu and Turkish, and a lot of them in Asia. But I think it's better. It gives a little more energy, but it's not so much better that means this is useless. Of course, it's not useless because people have been using the longbow for a long time, and it's a very effective weapon. But yeah, this one is, it's longer. It's 64 inches. It is at 28. It's 55 pounds. So it's usually 3.3 increments after that, poundage per inch. So I don't know what I'm drawing. I draw 31 to 32. My anchor point is my middle finger right at the side of my mouth, and I put my thumb usually at the back of my jaw to try and get consistency. That's very, very important when you're shooting. You want consistency. You want to do the same thing every time, and what you're doing is you're eliminating variables.